What's up, my kings, queens, and in-between bees? Today, I'm going to be teaching you my full moon release ritual. So this is open to any spiritual background. Feel free to add or omit anything that makes you feel more confident in performing it. It is a mixture of cognitive behavioral therapy techniques and purposeful journaling. So all you're going to need for this is a journal and a pen. And optionally, there is a burn release that you can do, and all you're gonna need for that is small pieces of paper, a pen, a fire-safe bowl, a lighter or mattress, water just in case, and scissors or tweezers. Let's get to it. The moon generally represents feminine energy. However, it also represents your instinctual reactions, your deep personal needs, and your unconscious mind. During the full moon, you have a chance to examine different areas of your life depending on which zodiac sign it's in. So how you can do this is take a look at your birth chart, figure out what sign the moon's in, and see which houses in your birth chart are going to be affected by that sign. For example, if the moon is in Sagittarius and Sagittarius is in your second house of money and possessions, take a look at that area of your life. What limiting thoughts and behavior patterns do you need to release in that area to get you closer to your manifestations and aligning with your higher self? If you're wanting to just keep consistent and you don't want to get super deep with your chart, that's okay. All you need to do is see which zodiac sign the moon is in and see which house that zodiac sign rules. Each house represents an area of our life. Throughout the entire year, if you release during a full moon, manifest during new moon, you will touch base on all 12 areas of your life in a pretty healthy and effective manner. It would be amazing to just manifest whatever we want really quickly all of the time, but a lot of times when we're not able to manifest what we want, there's probably something we need to release to get there, and that's usually the toughest part. However, doing this actually gets your manifestations way quicker. There are 11 steps to this ritual, and if that seems like a lot of work, remember, we get out of life what we put into it, so the choice is yours. Step 1, cleanse and clear your space. This can be whatever you want it to be. For me, I deep clean my house. I try to clean my car, but it's been raining, so I'm not doing a whole lot of outside things. I also try to clean one doom box. So a doom box, my ADHD fam can probably relate, and lots of people can relate. This isn't just an ADHD thing, but a doom box is a place that things go that don't have a place. So if you have a lot of doom boxes, don't worry. If you are taking care of one doom box during the new moon and one during the full moon, you actually do get caught up on them. Trust me, I know because I did. I really did. Cleansing and clearing your space can also be releasing with love, relationships that no longer serve you. It can be getting rid of physical items in your home. It can be taking that bag of clothes out of the trunk of your car to the thrift store finally. Whatever helps you release energy so you can bring more things in. Cleansing and clearing your space also releases dopamine and serotonin. So if you're feeling stressed out and you're producing cortisol, the kryptonite to cortisol is dopamine and serotonin. So if you're going to do goal setting or work on things that are going to be tough, it's good to set yourself up with a good foundation. That's why I have a bunch of these things before we get into the rituals. It's not by random, it's not by accident. It's to help you start releasing some dopamine and serotonin, which are motivation and reward neurotransmitters in your brain. So they help you get things done. Step 2, creating your sacred space. Again, whatever that means for you. Candles, incense, crystals, whatever you want. But remember, you don't need any of those things. All of those things are just tools to help you get on the vibration of your manifestations. So why I don't teach a lot of them on my page is, why would it give you a crutch if you don't have a broken leg? So a thing I like to say a lot on my lives is, there's a little theory about the most powerful wizard in Harry Potter. It's not Harry Potter, it's not Voldemort. The theory is that it's Hagrid because he doesn't have to use so many tools to get the magic done. Think about it, when they're young, they go to school, they have to learn all the classes, they use all these tools, they have herbology, they have all these extra things to help them. And as they grow up, they don't need as many things. So I'm not saying don't use them, I just don't want you to rely on them, because what if there's a time that you don't have them? You're just not gonna do this stuff? You're just not gonna manifest? You have the power in here and in here. So remember how powerful you are, and if you're working on confidence, this will really help you out. Step 3, music. Music is one of the most accessible tools that you have to change your vibration almost instantly. And as soon as you're thinking those thoughts, feeling those feelings, your brain releases dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, all sorts of things, cortisol, depending on how you're feeling. So use this to your advantage. If you're wanting to set goals and feel better, then play pump up music. And if you're wanting to check out some really cool music, look up binaural beats. So binaural beats are really fun. It's 1 hertz of music played in one ear, another, or frequency played in the other, and your brain will make up a third frequency. So check my TikTok page in the top files under healing tools, and you'll find more information about binaural beats there. But they are really handy and used for depression, anxiety. It's amazing what they can do. So take some time and see which ones feel right to you. Step 4, meditation. If you're not one to sit there and just like, if you're not one to just sit there and go, I get it. I can't really do that either. I use it as a check-in and an alignment. So sit there and just ask yourself, how do I feel right now? Actually, though, and just touch base with that feeling. And then decide how you would like to feel instead, and then insinuate your self-care and action plans and whatever you need to get yourself there. You can also try an app like Headspace. It's really, really good. It can be expensive to pay for it per month, but they actually have a lot of resources right on YouTube. So make sure you check out their YouTube channel. Get out that journal and let's start connecting with your higher self. So write down my higher self is. If you haven't done this before, your higher self is in essence an extension of you. It's how you want to feel as you go through life and travel this planet. It's boss mode activated. So write down my higher self is, and then list the traits and qualities of yourself when boss mode is activated. For me, my higher self is calm, non-reactive, emotionally and financially independently secure, persistent, consistent, and a guide. The more you are in alignment with this energy and the more you remember these traits and qualities, the easier decisions in life become. Literally everything can become. Does this align with my higher self? Yes or no? Does this job allow me to be consistent, persistent, non-reactive, emotionally and financially independently secure, and a guide? You know, does this relationship allow me to be this? Does whatever you need to do. So knowing that you actually have no control over anything except your mindset, aligning with your higher self now also makes all those mindset decisions even easier. If you're struggling with this, it's the opposite of your fears and insecurities. So write that list. Now we're going to connect with your shadow self. So if you haven't done shadow work before, this is a pretty good place to start. Connect with your higher self, and now write down my shadow self is, and I want you to look at the first thing on your higher self list and ask yourself, do I feel, let's say, confident? Do I feel confident? If the answer is yes, you don't have to write anything. Go to the next thing on the list. If the answer is no, write down my shadow self is, and then what's the opposite of confident? Let's say insecure. My shadow self is insecure. Now go down the list and see what you need to work on. Reminder, these are things you need to work on. Everybody on the planet has shadows. And if you're watching this video, look at all the people who've watched this video, look at my TikTok channel. Literally hundreds of thousands of people are working on their shadows to break cycles, to break generational trauma, to feel better, to create a better environment for their children, for themselves, for their family. You're doing amazing work, all right? So don't look at this list and think these are a bunch of things that are wrong with you, because that produces cortisol and that's gonna demotivate you from working on this. Everybody has shadows. And if you think like super rich people don't have shadows, they just have rich people shadows, all right? Step 7. If you were with me during the new moon, I want you to think about what you were manifesting. If not, what are you working on? What goals are you working on? Now take a look at your shadow self list. And I want you to pinpoint some limiting thoughts and behavior patterns or shadows from that list that are directly holding you back from that manifestation. This is where we make the magic happen. Okay, so write down whatever those shadows are that you would like to work on right away. And you can start with I release. So I release feeling insecure when I get bad comments on the internet, whatever it is for you. Now I also want you to write down 3 steps that you can take starting now to help yourself get out of this mode and align more with the energy of your higher self. So your higher self is confident. Okay, so what are 3 steps you can take? So using the example I said before, I can delete the comments and block people. I can ignore the comments, and I can double down and continue to put myself out there in an even bigger way. What are 3 steps that you can take right away? Step 8, this is where we are going to write that letter of forgiveness. So thinking about your shadow self and situations that you might be holding on to, and write a letter of forgiveness to yourself or those people in those situations. You don't have to give these letters to anybody. They can be completely secret if you want. But on the flip side, you can give them to people as well. That's totally an option. So how are you going to write it? You can start by addressing it to dear spirit, universe, God, dear yourself, dear whoever. It doesn't really matter who you write this to. Then I want you to first start by expressing where you are in life right now and how that makes you feel. So I feel, and then let it all out. This release feels good. And then I want you to write, I forgive myself for, or I forgive you for, and let it all out. It doesn't matter how you write this. This is about releasing and changing your neural pathways from anger, guilt, and shame, which, by the way, is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. You just hurt yourself. So it's building new neural pathways, and this is allowing you to let it go. What is the point of holding on to it? Honestly, that's the question I want to leave you. What is the point of holding on to it? Because life is too short and we don't have an infinite capacity. So if you're not moving forward in life, there's probably some things that you need to let go and forgive yourself for, and other people. Let it go. Let it go. After you finish writing whatever you'd like, you can finish with, I release any and all energy attached to these situations for my own personal growth and healing. What to do with your letter? That is totally up to you. Some people like to burn them. Definitely do that. Go outside, burn it safely. However, I actually keep them because it's really good to use for shadow work, and it's also fun to see your progress as you progress. Also, you can just give it to the people that you are forgiving or apologizing to, or whatever letters that you want to write that's going to help you release this energy. All right, so burn it, keep it, or send it to the person, or recycle it. But don't throw it in the garbage. Like, be kind to planet Earth. Step 9, for the things that you would like to double down and release, you can optionally do a burn release. So you can put that letter in there, but also you can write down any shadows or limiting thoughts and behavior patterns that you would like to release on little small pieces of paper and hold them over a fire safe bowl and scissors or tweezers. And before you light them on fire, really feel it and say it out loud boldly. I release, and then whatever it is, and then light it on fire and let it burn. Why we say these things, it helps us feel this energy, and it helps burn it into your subconscious and conscious mind. And if you believe that it's sending the energy out to the universe, spirit, God, whatever, that also is in there. So when you're faced with decisions in life, you're more likely to remember this energy, like how you feel as you're like, I release this, and you're more likely to make decisions that align with that feeling. Burning things is fun. Step 10, that is going to be a full moon wish. So that's just something you would like to work on manifesting during the new moon. So write it down. I personally keep them in my manifestation box, and then during the new moon, when I do my manifestation ritual, I take this moon wish out. I check on where I'm at, see if I released enough energy to turn it into a manifestation, and then I write it down as a proper goal, and then I write some action plans to get there, and then I write down some self-care to treat myself when I get there, to tell my brain that doing this is a good activity. That's kind of the process that I'm trying to help you get into. And step 11, that's a mandatory self-care activity. I recommend a full moon bath or shower, but you can do anything that helps you release dopamine and serotonin. As I just mentioned, when we treat ourselves for doing things that are hard or doing things that we, are progressing, evolving, that are challenging, that we should treat ourselves for, it helps solidify those neural pathways because it releases dopamine and serotonin and tells your brain, this is a preferable activity, let's do it again. So find a self-care activity that you really love and treat yourself for all the good work that you not only did in this ritual, but that you're doing in life. Life is really tricky and hard these days, all right? So treat yourself, my kings, queens, and in-between bees, because you definitely deserve it. And then after the full moon or super moon or whatever, the 2 weeks following is where you start insinuating these action plans and work on releasing these things. So letting go of relationships that no longer serve you, figuring out what boundaries you need to set that align with the energy of your higher self. You do that in that 2 weeks, maybe finish cleaning that doom box. There's no expectation that you do this all in one day. If you need to finish some letters, if you need to burn them later, if you have to work, the full moon is literally only full for less than a minute, literally. Guys, think about it. Science, right? The moon and the earth are not only rotating, but we're orbiting. So the teachings of the moon is go with the flow, okay? So if you're wanting to dive deeper into your birth chart, again, you check and see what zodiac sign that the moon is in and see which houses are being affected by that zodiac sign. If you're just wanting to keep it basic, see which sign the full or super moon is in, and then see which house it rules over, and then check into those areas. If you have any questions, make sure that you drop them in the comments. And as always, I will be live on TikTok during every full and new moon to guide you through my rituals. If you're not able to make it, my second book is finally published. This is my Moon Phases guided journal. So it has, I think it's, how many pages in the beginning? A lot. There's 60 pages of descriptive stuff about moon stuff. So moon events, also my rituals are fully described in here, but also the ritual that I just taught you, there is empty blank pages, well, guided pages for you to fill it out. So this is the phases of the moon, the zodiac it's in. It's really, really cute. So if you want to check it out, make sure you check it out on my website. I've dropped some links below. I release copies of it once or twice a month that are hand signed, but you can get it on Amazon at any time. Yeah, thank you for your support. P.S. You look cute today. Love ya.